Okay, you're fine, Mike.
Okay.
Don't touch. Thank
touch.
you.
You're
Very good.
welcome.
Would you close
What's your
the
name?
door?
Lisa Michaels, that's right. Okay. Is she a good singer?
Very. Now,
Can she
don't
sing jingles?
Yes, she can sing
Can
jingles.
Sure.
I'll give you her number when you leave.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
would you close
Good.
the door, honey?
Sure, no
I
problem.
have Devin coming in at 4:30, and he has to be open till 5:30.
Okay.
So we have to get it on.
Okay.
Now, you look right into there. Don't even look at me, so
Oh.
that we can see your mouth.
Okay.
He down.
He.
Slide, Michael. Slide. Really make a slide. That's it. Don't think, no.
He. He.
Keep it high. Slide and stay on top of it. The buzz. Now start this high. Think high. Keep it. Yeah. Don't think in terms of notes, which you have been thinking a little bit about. I've got to get to each note. Remember you have to slide, and remember you're coming on top of each note, keeping the buzz as you slide. That's why you're a little shaky on the bottom, because I think you've been, we do these. We do them religiously. But we say, okay, he down, and we do it. Instead of thinking, now I've got to keep the first note high, I've got to come on top, I must slide, keep the vibration right to the last note, hold it steady. Do that last one more time. Now come on top, like a little boy. Right. Now those were fatter before. You've probably been manipulating to get to pitches instead of sliding. That's normal. After this long, it's a wonder you can even respond when I say slide. Because obviously you've been thinking note, keeping the buzz fairly well.
There was a thing that happened last year. I went with a bunch of fellas to a football game.
Yelled your lungs out?
Yelled my lungs out. Drank a lot of beer. It was a
big part.
And it just, oh boy, it was like after that I tried to do the exercises after that, and I was manipulating, I guess, more to
get
favor
the
that.
note.
Yes.
Then to keep the placement.
Yes.
Yeah. So watch that. That's the only correction there. He-L-R-R-U.
He.
The next thing that we fall heir to is we start thinking, okay, I have to do he, ah, u, and we think ah instead of I'm holding ah, jutting my lips. I'm holding ah, jutting. Oh, there's ah. Do you see? As opposed to creating ah, because we know ah is the next one. We make ah instead of having it happen as a result of the lips jutting while we're holding ah. Okay?
Yes.
So think about that.
He.
When I say jut, on your ah, you'll notice in the tape that you see both your top teeth and your lower teeth. When you go to ah, you're pulling your lips in, like so. Almost to an O, as opposed to Four, yes.
Oh yeah, fish lips.
Fish
spread 'em.
face. Fish face.
He.
Then close your ooh.
Yeah,
How did that
forgot
one feel?
the ooh. Feel it much better.
Well, of course, because the minute that you close the lips in, they act as a, like a mute in a trumpet.
Mhm.
They pull the vibration in. Ow.
Ow. Don't do it.
Ah.
Ow. Yeah.
Yeah. Go and then go to your ooh.
Ooh. He.
Good. And remember, move your lips slowly, because right now you may get a reaction from the tongue. If you move your lips quickly to the aw, from the out of the aw, you may get a reaction on the back of the tongue, wanting to drop. So concentrate like mad. I'm holding ah, I'm slowly jutting my lips, not in a hurry, slowly. So it really stays forward.
Here's another problem too. Sometimes when I'm looking in the mirror, I'll go, yeah, and I'll just, like normally when I dropped it, like that, what I do is when I see my tongue, I start flattening my tongue more.
Don't do that, because it goes right back into your throat. Remember, the jaw is on an angle, isn't it? It doesn't open like an elevator.
Yes.
The back does not open as much as the front. Hence, the tongue is really at all times not curved, but a little higher in back than it is in front. It's not
Yeah,
down.
see, that's what I was doing. Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
It's still slightly curved. Okay?
And I think when I think E all the way through, it stays there.
It stays
like
where
that.
it ought to be, and then eh happens and ah happens.
He.
Now I want those lips moving very slowly to that ah.
He.
So you're still pushing the back of your tongue down, Michael, on that ah. Take the mirror. It won't hurt with one. Get back to where you were. That's all I ask. Okay?
Yes.
You won't be able to get it all there, but you will see
Okay.
it done. That looked better to me. You weren't pushing it down as far in that. And when you push it down, then it means that you're manipulating. You're pushing the epiglottis down, you're pushing the whole thing down. And you don't want that extra push. It becomes a lovely, free ah when you don't force.
There's been some unfortunate things that have happened in terms of my schedule and everything. I was getting caught up doing it in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And, and then since I've left here, I've already moved like 4 or 5 times. And,
Swell.
and it just, one place, like the last place, that's after my car was stolen and a whole bunch of other things happened. The lady there she'd come home in the middle of the day and say, "You're making too much noise, I don't want to hear it." So it got really to be a problem because I wasn't able to do my exercises at the house there and I had to do it somewhere else. And
Yeah.
so now I'm doing it, I find it's better to do it in the morning when I get up and I lock myself in the bathroom and
And break the mirrors.
and there's nobody that can hear it. Now, it's great. When I was going to you, I was living on 48th Avenue in San Francisco. I did the same thing. I went in the bathroom, did it there, and I had the mirror there and it was perfect.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing that again.
Yeah. That's a good idea. It's good that you can do it someplace.
You told me once before that if ever there's a problem, just put a pillow over your face and do it.
Yeah.
You
You don't have to put it on your face, but put it up in front of you to muffle the sound.
Yes.
So, all right. That was very much better. Let the ah happen. Don't create it. That's not a good E.
Okay.
That's it. Remember you're holding ah.
Yes.
watch the playback on this. Now, you keep the lips forward this time. I want to see the upper teeth and the lower teeth. Be aware of that.
He.
Goody. Now, jump. Take the mirror. I want to see the. I see your upper teeth and your lower teeth on your ah. I want to see it on the ah.
Okay. He.
You conceal them. You see where you conceal them?
Yes.
I want to see those teeth. Yeah, just like a horse. You get them out of the way.
He.
Never mind the camera. Take one with that right in front of your face. Look at the lips, and then we'll do one with the camera.
Okay. He.
Forward. But you hurried off of that one. I didn't care whether you knew or not.
He.
Now, way out front. All right. Now, the concentration must be greater on I'm holding ah and slowly jutting my lips. Give me just ah to ah.
Could you do
Don't
it?
think
Could you
all.
do it in the camera here for a
No.
second? Why not?
Cause.
Cause.
Go.
He.
No, I want ah to ah. Just ah. Hear that muffle when I pull it in?
Yeah.
I want to keep the lips up. The work is done from the side of the face. That's right. Take a look.
I know
Okay.
this goes a little weird.
That's all right. It doesn't matter.
As long as I don't do this in concert, right?
Of course not. But I don't want you doing this in concert either. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
No, no, in concert.
Good.
He.
Now look at your face. Yes. You're going to have to work on that because you started closing that in. Part of it probably started with the idea that you were going to close to oo. That you were anticipating I'm going to have to close to oo. So you're shortening the jaw, putting the lips in. Instead of keeping them very far forward. Yeah. There you go. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then the sound doesn't distort. One more.
He.
Forward. Yes. Right. Do you feel that difference?
Is it okay that while I'm doing that while I'm doing it, I feel contortions on my face
Oh,
going?
who cares about
like-
that? That's just tension because you're concentrated.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Because I think
you're not
sometimes.
going to do it when you perform.
Okay.
You're not going to do it. Your head is in a whole different place when you're performing.
Okay.
You're dealing with lyrics.
Okay.
You're not dealing with it. Okay? Right onward. Give
Onward.
me each your end.
He.
Now don't be a grandfather and try to hide your lower teeth when you open to that E. Don't show me your gums either. But I see the tops of your lower teeth on E. I want to see them on the E as well.
Okay. He.
Right. You're not going up and down, you're going out and back, remember?
Out and back.
Out and back.
He.
We're opening just slightly.
He.
sound of it. Remember and is the most used vowel of all the vowels. That it is midway between E and A. So you mustn't over-open and you must standardize the position of your air. Where is it on E, A, or U? Do it and take a look.
He.
No, just meow.
He.
Look in the mirror.
He.
There's it. Now go to A.
He.
There's it. Now go to A. Yeah. You see air? It's halfway in between, isn't it? Now when you do E to air, you're over-opening by about 1/4 of an inch. Just enough that that air doesn't retain its vitality. Okay? Watch in the mirror. E to air.
He. Oh,
Never
he.
try it.
He.
No.
He.
Use your mirror.
Which one are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. He.
Now watch your opening. To I. That's almost down to an R.
You know what I'm doing sometimes? Yeah.
Well, you didn't do that time.
Okay.
But you are over-opening. Now, a moment ago I had you do E, A, or U. So you would see where an air came in,
Yes.
where the position of the jaw was on the air. Give me just E to air and look again. Now take your time. No, just one. Oh! See it? See it? Now give me E triad open to air and project. That's an air. Do you see?
Yes.
You've been going wide for it.
Yes.
And then it loses that edge. Feel it?
Yes.
Go again. Keep an eye on it. Better. There's a little too open. You see? A little too slack. Better. Well, that's something that needs good attention. Because if you start doing it in those exercises, over-opening in E, A, or U, and the E triad open to air, you surely are going to open it on ham, heim, in on, as well as nang, nang, nei, right?
Yes.
And many men. Those are all airs, and they should be standardized. So they are the same position every time. Air is air is air is air. Ah is ah is ah. Or the only vowels that change their position is E, right? And that's in the upper notes. The jaw is permitted to open slightly, right?
Yes.
On top. And the placement goes up on E and U. But no. Air and ah or all. Do you see those three? Air, ah, or are standard. Same position,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, but we still, when we're aiming, we're still going backwards if it goes too high, right? We're not aiming right here when we're doing the high ahs.
That's right. They're going up, but the
Yes.
jaw doesn't open any farther on an ah there than it does if it's placed here.
Yes.
Do you see?
Yes.
Only E
E. That's the only time when we open up the jaw a little bit more to accommodate.
to
that.
accommodate the vocal cords. Okay? Now give me ham, hanging, hong. Ham. Heim. Watch that air. Him. Now watch this haw. Now when you look at this at home, you look at that mouth on hong, because that's the mouth I want. Yeah. That aw was perfect, but the lips and the position of the jaw was different than the aw you give me in going from ah to aw. Do you see?
Yes, yes.
You're starting to anticipate the closure, I think.
Yes.
That's most of it. Now show me some teeth on it. Hey. Heem. Excellent. Haw. Haw.
Hom. Hom.
All in one breath. Now careful of the air.
Ham. Hey.
All right. Remember, Michael, when you were doing these individually, you were bringing the vowel back to the tonic. You were doing.
Yes.
Now suddenly you're doing. Yes. Hey. Hey. Right now. Hey.
Yes. Hey. Get back down to the tonic.
Get down to the tonic
Okay.
with the vowel. Go.
Ham.
No,
Hey.
I want the jaw to stay open till you get to the tonic.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Ham. Hey. Hey. Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
Yeah. Thinking about that jaw, you blew
Yes.
the lyrics.
Yes.
Oh, how quickly they forget the meaningful words. Here we go.
Ham. Hey. Heem.
Haw.
Thank you, dude.
How many years have you done?
I know,
All of it-
I know,
and
I know,
all of
it's
a sudden it's like,
happening.
there it goes.
Ham.
Now
Hey.
keep the jaw open.
Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
Watch that hom now. Hom.
Okay.
Ha.
Ham.
Yes.
Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
You'll see on this.
Hom.
Now give me hom all by itself.
Hom.
Just take hom slowly.
Hom.
Now do it quickly. Look in the mirror.
Hom.
That's where your lips should be. Now on this next one, make sure that's where your lips are. Look in the mirror.
Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
That's right. Remembering to bring the vowel back to the tonic.
Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom. Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
Hom. Hom.
Hom.
Right. Now hold.
Hom.
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 Don't think as much about closing this.
Hom.
When we open from E to E to R, we think in terms of opening the front of the jaw, right? When we go from R, when we close, like from R to U, or R to the M, we think close the back. So we're constantly, in this exercise, biting to close to the M, closing the back. So we're biting to
Yes.
hom, hom.
Hom.
Right.
Hom.
Right, go.
Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
That's better.
Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom. Ham. Hey. Heem. Hom.
Yes. Do you see that little difference?
Yes.
Now, Michael, you're not learning one thing that's new. Not one thing. And it is ever so with people who have really completed their work. And then they come back a year, 2 years later. They're not learning something new, but they are picking up on the points that kind of skidded off the brain, you know, like little flakes, little, what do they call those things that they use in computers? You know.
Chips?
Chips.
Memory chips?
Like little memory chips all over the brain that kind of slip off. Just pasting them back on again. That's really all it amounts to, is that you're being reminded of things. So you paste the chip back on. But it's not a matter of learning something new at all. It's just a matter of cleaning up the little things that have slipped.
Yes.
Those roving discs. Now, ye na 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 ye na na nay. Watch that ad.
Nang nang nai nang nang nei nang nang ni nang nang noi.
I don't want to know. Non.
Oh,
Non.
non.
Yes. And what are you closing?
I'm closing this.
You're closing the back.
I'm closing the back, but non.
Right.
But the
Back
T
of the tongue.
gets the end.
The tip of the tongue, the front comes out. But the back of the tongue, the sides of the back of the tongue, must come back to that same position of being braced against the upper molars. So in essence, if I were to do this in slow motion, it would look like this.
Now let me ask you this.
Non.
Non, and you're doing non, but if you close non and you just kept it straight with the on, you would come to go to an oo.
You would, if you would, if you, just as if you did non-AH. You would, if you were totally relaxed, come into an E, wouldn't you? Nine, naturally.
Yes.
But we're saying, I don't want that. I'm going from an R to an N right now.
Non,
Non.
non, non.
Now, do you see the difference in the N?
Non,
Because
non,
the sides are right.
no, non.
Are you listening to me now? The sides of the back of the tongue are right back where they would be on an E, right? Which is the principle for a good M, or a good L, or a good M. You close to an M. The important thing, like why you're getting such a beautiful heem with no click, is because that tongue is braced back here against the molars. And you're not getting, remember what we used to get? Heem, remember that old
Yes.
thing? Oh God, it was good. Because you're keeping your tongue braced, there's no click, there's no zump, there's no interruption of sound. That's because the tongue is braced. And that E. It's also braced when you do han, right there, there.
Yes.
And the same thing applies on han, the tongue is there. Non, the tongue is there. If it isn't, then we're forced to curl the tongue to get the end. And we lose part of the vitality.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Inanda.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
Fight.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
That was good. How did it feel?
Felt great.
Should have felt buzzy.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non. He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang nang.
Now you're beginning to think nung nung
Yes.
instead of nong nong.
Yes,
Remember,
vowel.
ah is the important part. NG is the result of your lifting your back of your tongue.
Yes.
But you're singing vowels. And stop pressing quite so much. You're trying to equate volume now to keep the same volume that you had on the first note. It's more important that I'm high. I'm keeping this placement high. I'm coming on top of the note. Take it easy. Reduce the pressure. Don't blast into it. You don't need it. You get the same volume without blasting and no intrusion on the throat. Okay? Keep climbing, little kid.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
That's it.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
Now keep the same pressure that you have on the E. It's a rhythm.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
Show me fangs on the non.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
That's nice.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
I want to see non.
Non. He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
Like a little boy.
He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non. He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non. He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non. He nang nang nai nang nang nay nang nang ni nang nang non.
and say, oh yes, now I see what she means by that. Okay? Many men. Now watch many men.
Many.
Here
How
we
fast?
go.
Many men and many
Now
women.
wait, there's another F. Now many men and many men and. That's an F too. Now men and. Open that up.
Many men and many women mining many mines. Many men and many women mining many mines. Many men and many women mining many mines.
What?
Just
Now
enough
when
air.
when you go from your E of mines, on that E, that tongue is really up against the molars.
Yes.
You keep it there while you lift that N.
Okay.
Okay? So that the whole tongue is up on N, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't let the back of that tongue go away from those upper teeth.
Okay.
Okay?
Many men and many women mining many mines.
Yes.
Many men and many women mining many mines. Many men and many women mining many mines.
Now lighten up, sweetheart.
Many men and many women mining many
Don't forget
mines.
many men and.
Many men and many women mining many mines. Many men and many women mining many mines. Many men and many women mining many mines.
Little kid, keep it high.
Many men and many women mining many mines. 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 Many men and many women mining many mines.
Yes. Michael, one thing I want you to watch is a tendency to attempt to keep the same volume all the way down. Remember, exercises are different from singing. When you're singing, you'll have that same volume. You'll have a good fat bottom. But these are stressed because, like on the show, in one note, right? You're holding one note, and the vocal cords are opening and closing, and the tongue is up and down. And you don't try to push that volume into your placement. When you're singing, it's free air. This is stressed air. Straight. Keep it absolutely straight. When you're going from one note down to another, you have that flexibility. You don't have that urgency, that tension on the chords that you have in the exercises. So don't try to equal. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't try to equalize your volume all the way to the bottom. on your
Don't make it
exercise.
louder.
Don't try to make this note as loud as that note, or this note as loud as that note. Do you see? As you're working
Is it better to
down.
work quieter then? I mean softer?
Yeah, as you get into your lower notes. Not on the higher ones. The ones like when you first start out, you're up here. Go ahead, let it fly. But when you get down in here, you got to lighten up and keep that placement on. And feel how much air is that going to take without me sounding like Gravel Gertie on a bad day.
Gravel Gertie. I haven't heard it for a while. I remember Gravel
Yeah,
Gertie.
remember Gravel Gertie? Ah, yes, I remember it well. Feel how much air it takes to produce and maintain the placement, but not to overproduce. Got it? Now give me a little.
Lee-loo, 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 lee-loo. Lee-loo, 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 lee-loo.
Now you can feel there isn't a big reduction, but there is a reduction as you get to the lower notes. And they're coming. Do you feel that in this exercise? Well, that same observance is what is needed on everything that you do. You're down right on through. But when you're lower, it's a little less pressure. Don't press and say, damn, I want the same volume. Because all you've managed to do is make yourself tired. And you're giving your vocal cords enough air on this note to sing that one easily. And they're saying, what the hey? You're pushing me up and you're not giving me any rest. Okay?
Lee-loo, 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 lee-loo.
Did you feel?
Yes.
It doesn't take as much. And yet it has the same volume, the same projection. goes to a B flat, I'm not sure. That was a C, which ain't too tacky.
Mhm.
Now, did you have the stress eases?
Yes.
Now, I don't think we're going to have time to do all of those, plus whatever it is you want to talk about.
Mhm.
What do you have that you want to discuss? Tell me about it
Oh,
first.
okay. Basically, you know, I was thinking about having a show that I could possibly use, let's say, in a lounge or part of a Las Vegas or Reno, Tahoe act.
Mhm.
I have a friend up in Tahoe, and I'm just going to review an order with you, and you can just kind of mentally picture it being done. The first song being
Where do you plan on auditioning this morning?
Reno, Tahoe, that sort of
For
thing.
what? Not the casinos, but for the lounges?
Lounges, and hopefully as an opening act for, let's say, you know, for one of the shows up there, maybe have a little review that, you know, and maybe basically use it as a cabaret show here to start off with, and then be able to apply it to a bigger show over there. Let's say the first song would be It's Today. Light the candles, get the ice out, roll the rug up, it's today.
Yeah,
Then
great
followed,
tune.
medleyed into, segued into a song that it's called Gonna Love You More, more than anything you've heard about. Gonna love you more, more than any day and any night we've passed to. That's it.
It's contemporary.
And then,
Now, a direct segue. Are you going to do the whole thing of It's Today?
yes.
Good tune, you know. And it does allow... You
I
can
did that
even
in Tune the
do-
Grand Up. That was part of one of the songs I did.
It's a
too.
great tune. And you can even do two choruses of it. And instead of do-do-do, dum-bum-ba-da-dum, you can do da-da-da-dum, da-ba-dum-bum, da-da-da-dum, it's today. See, in other words, add two bars in there.
Yes.
So there's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, it's today. It goes, though it may not be in, it's
Yes.
such a blatant tongue twister, you know, if
Yes.
you work it that fast. And it does allow itself to go up for a half step on the second chorus, because it's got great lyrics.
Mhm.
Okay?
And then followed by that Gonna
Yeah,
Love You More.
okay.
I don't know if I was thinking of segueing it into from It's Today to Gonna Love You More, kind of contemporary. It was late 70s, you know,
Yeah,
79.
but it's contemporary kind
Okay.
of music.
And then the next song would either be Just in Time, I Found You Just in Time.
You know, I'd reverse that. I'd say It's Today and go into Just in Time.
Oh,
And I'll tell you why, because it's more, it has more to do with It's in Time, It's Today, and Just in Time, I Found You Today.
Oh,
You know, that
okay.
feeling.
okay.
I think lyrically you might be a
Okay.
better idea then, because I found you just in time, and then now I'm going to love you.
Mhm.
You see, then it follows
Yes.
kind of the story pattern.
Yes,
Do you follow that?
yes, yes.
Do you agree or disagree
I think
with
I think that's good.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's more.
And then the next song would be like Al Jarreau, We're in this love together. We got the kind that'll last forever. That sort
Did you
of
ever hear him do Teach Me to Love?
thing. No, no.
God, that's a real old tune.
Yes, yes.
Dun, doo, 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 doo,
Yes.
doo.
Mhm.
He just does that shit. And it's such a great tune. Well, anyway, go
Okay.
ahead.
The next one I thought, believe it or not, was People. People, people, more
Why
of a bossa
not?
nova. People, people who need. Nat King Cole did a version that had a Latin beat behind it.
Just a little feeling of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bossa nova, I guess it was. And then followed by, I've grown accustomed to her face. She almost makes the day begin.
Great.
I've grown accustomed to the tune. Now the next one, I don't know, but I was thinking about it, just to kind of get to reach another audience, but it's more sexier, it can be played sexier. After the lights go down low, baby, you know, there'll be no reason for teasing me so. And when the dancing is through, folks will be few, and I'll be here sitting with no one but you. And I'll be needing you so, after the lights go down low.
That's good. But you're going from people into a drum
No, I'm-
into your face.
Yes.
Where are you going to go from there? Tell me that.
Okay, then after the lights go down low, and then a new song, Stand By Me, after the lights go down low. That 50s song that they've redone again. And then another comedy song called And Her Mother Came Too.
Huh. Sounds good.
And after that would be I guess I'll have to change my plan. I should have realized there'd be another. I want to do that in swing. I guess I'll have to change my plan. I should have realized there'd be another man. Da 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 da. You know. Before the big affair began, my boiling point is much too low for me to be a fly Lothario. Was it Lothario or Lothario? Lothario. And then Sunny, which is one that he did. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sunny, you smiled at me and really, really eased the pain. And then this is one you gave me. This can't be love because I feel so well. And then segued into, because I love to look in your eye, look at you and suddenly.
That's all in one key, incidentally.
Something, yes.
It doesn't change it. And then back into This Can't Be Love.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
And then the next one would either be Midnight Sun or All the Things You Are.
Oh God, I don't see either one of those. Midnight Sun is such a dreary bore. For most people, it's a hard, unless they're musicians, it's hard for them to really enjoy it because of the intervals. That doesn't please
Yes.
them particularly at all. It's too jazz oriented. And All the Things You Are, how would you treat that?
That would be a ballad.
Why do you want to do it?
I just like the song.
I like the song.
What, do you have any other suggestions? You think I
Well,
should
there's
maybe
a
throw on a
million
newer song
tunes.
or?
What's your close? This is one set, I presume.
Pretty much, yes.
Or are you,
This is actually,
this is the second one, huh?
yes.
You'd close with this?
No. Actually, this is all one. This is an hour and a half
Yeah.
show.
Well, you have to figure that 45 minutes, you do 45 minutes in Vegas style, 45 an hour. And so you'd have a whole show, which is an hour and a half, but you have to have a place here where no singer's going to go out there and entertain for an hour and a half. You know that.
Yes.
It's going to be broken up.
Yes.
There isn't anybody, including Sammy Davis, any of the greats, that can hold an audience for an hour and a half.
Yes.
Because they get bored with hearing the same sound.
Yes.
That's why they have other people to come in midway through, which is usually 25 minutes. And then they do something, and then they come back and do another 20 minutes, which is 45 minutes. Because people get tired. So what you have to do, really, is to figure 45 minutes. No way you're going to do an hour and a half show now.
Yes.
So figure 45 and 45. It means you need a closer in here. If you're midway through by this,
Yes.
you need a closer.
Well, I can take it from one of these others here. Now, let's go back up here. If we were to continue on, I wanted to open up with, on this one, come along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and ballyhoo, and then a new duet, like a song that would have to, following that one with maybe, I had the time of my life, that new one that's
Oh, you say a new duet. Who are you working with?
well, there's two singers, dancers that are interested. Valerie is one of them. Remember her?
Yeah.
Valerie
It's your
Cabello?
ex-wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Sarah Kenyon, who is in Japan now. She's coming back. Beautiful girl. She has a nice voice, but she's really a dancer.
Well, is she going to do this whole thing with you?
She would probably do parts of them. I have to figure out how to. When
You're
should?
talking about two different things here. You're talking about.
Well, I want to be
your
able to take
show
this and then kind of on some of these have them come in and sing some background harmonies, and on
see.
some maybe they'll do a background dance, a balletic thing or whatever, and then maybe they'll have their own little thing. They'll do their own
Their own thing.
dance for
Two
while I'm
ladies
changing
under a
clothes.
banana tree.
Yes.
Yeah, in the shade of a banana tree. Yeah, that sounds good.
What-
This is good.
What type of stuff do you think would be good for the two singers? What type of songs do you think they should do in relation to the overall
God,
act?
I don't know, because that depends upon their personality too, you know.
Okay.
That depends upon their ability to present, what they like to present, what they want to do, maybe they want to sing and dance at the same time. They want things that are danceable, and I don't know what their thing is, Michael.
Okay.
I don't know them, so it's very hard for me to say, well, they ought to do this. If they were hirelings, they should be doing things around you that are geared to set you up, not necessarily to show their own abilities.
Okay.
Do you see? So that's a
Yes.
whole different
Yes.
thing. And if they're only doing fill-ins for you, if they're doing something that fills in time so you can change wardrobe or whatever it is you intend to do to break that business of your working straight through, that's another whole thing.
Okay.
I don't know what you have in mind for them. I was under the impression this was you.
This
Now,
is me as alone, but what I could do is I
As-
want to expand upon it to include singers, dancers.
immediately or now? I mean, immediately or objectively down the road?
If I can get it going as soon as possible, yes. As soon as possible. If I can get this thing going with them, yes, I would do it as soon as
You
possible.
said you knew someone in that area.
Yes.
I don't care about names, but
He's with Harrah's, Lee Reganese.
what does he do?
He's the entertainment director for Harrah's.
Really? That's strange. A new name.
Yeah, in Tahoe.
Used to be Bob McClure.
Yeah, well, he's handling. He
But
used to be
they
the
left.
lighting director
Ah.
for Harrah's.
And now he's taken over that position.
And he also gave me the prices of reviews and stuff. He says, Mike, if you want to put together a whole review, this is what they pay for it. If you want to go like a step further and do all these costume things, like with the complete acts and a show, so to speak, with a theme show, and then you can throw yourself in as a singer in different parts of it. You know what I mean? And then have a band here, have some showgirls, and then he gave me the prices on what they charge for that. It's a competitive business, but there are only a few of them that are really doing it, and I have a little bit of an in now. And he also said because I've done shopping center shows, it might help to get me in. Also, people have heard about what I've done before in shopping centers, that maybe I can apply it to that. Anyway, going on with this,
Yeah.
I wanted to do.
It's hard to, if you're going to work with like a unit, you're talking about a unit now, and you're talking about the girls and yourself doing a whole thing where they are also participants in the entire picture. You're talking about a unit show. That means that you have to take an idea, a theme kind of idea, and work from that standpoint so that you're really telling a complete story in that 45 minutes. Because you're not going to be out there an hour and a half.
Yes.
That's main room stuff. Is he talking main room
These are.
or cabaret?
Well, I guess the medium-sized rooms is where
That's
they do that.
cabaret,
Yeah, but it's not the smaller lounge. The smaller
No.
lounge is another thing.
That's
In
another.
fact, the Riviera Hotel, I talked with them, and they were interested in having, listening to me for a lounge act, which would just include me and a piano player.
Uh-huh.
That possibility was open. So,
That's a very good possibility.
yeah, that's Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is nice. I
That's
can,
nice. You can
puts
do
me more in
that.
control. But the other one goes a little bit step further. I can get
Yeah.
bigger gigs with, being an opening
A
act.
unit.
I'd like to be, at least one of the goals in the near future I'd like is to be an opening act for a major performer.
You have to get your feet awful wet before you get to that point.
By that you
And
mean?
you know what? Well, you have to have a reputation
Mhm.
of performing. But there's a problem here, Mike. They're very careful about who they pick up for opening acts because if they are too good, they will buy you.
Mm.
If you're too good. If you present, it's like, I don't think you even knew her, little girl I had in Candy, Milo, who's in LA now doing very, very well. But I sent her down to Seymour Heller, who was Lee Liberace's manager for years. And he freaked over Candy, just flipped. Her dad, Nino Milo, in the 40s and 50s was one of the biggest singing acts in the country. And so she has really quite a background. And Seymour freaked because a kid could sing, she's great. And so he took her to Lee, and Lee thought she was just the greatest in the world. He says, I don't need another Streisand. I don't want to have to fight for my own show. Do you see? Which he
Yes.
had to do with Barbara.
Yes.
He had to come out and convince the audience that they came to see him.
Mhm.
And they did come to see him, and they got Barbara, and they didn't want her to leave the stage. So they're very careful. I have a guy in the studio who has traveled with Burl for years. And he says, every time that he'd get a number that he'd get an ovation on, Burl would exit. Out. Get out of the show.
Mm.
Do you see?
Yes.
Really, that's a very tough spot. Unless it's a situation where the person, like with Sammy Davis when he brought in, what's her name, a little dancer that's missed
I know.
Las Vegas now that he was having,
Yeah.
he wasn't having an affair.
I know who
No,
you're talking about, though.
Wayne Newton was having a big thing going with her.
I know who you're talking about, exactly.
Queen of Las Vegas. There was something going on there between them, and he, well, you see, if you were
Yes.
having an affair with Joan Rivers, you might possibly open for her. God knows you're not going to open for a male singer, a male performer.
Yes.
You're going to open for comics. Do you
Yes.
see? You're not even going to open for a female singer unless she's very, very secure and wants you to sing harmony parts to her.
Yes.
Do you see?
Okay.
So that's a.
I should go toward comedians.
You start working to build your reputation in the area until one of those managers says, "Listen, this could be a great opening for you." Did you see? And usually a male comic wants a female singer.
Yes.
Not for. I don't mean that for.
I know the reasons why.
Because he's a male.
Now I have another question that's I think is kind of important too. As you know, Lucier's my name. Lucier is Lucier. Scott's the name that I use because it's simple. Everybody remembers it. You helped me name that when you said, well, why not Michael Scott? So then I thought about it and I changed I said Michael Scott. And I've been using it a lot. A lot of people know me as Michael Scott. But there's one other thing. I've kind of gone back, and when my mom got married again, she decided to give me Lucier's name. When she got married again, he adopted and said, okay, yeah, I'd rather have him have my name.
Yeah.
Well, my birth name, birth certificate name, is really Gunnersen, Gunnersen. That is my real name.
Yeah.
And I've had this feeling
You're
about...
not going to think about gun.
No, but I was thinking about, I thought about going back to Gunnersen. I don't know,
Too long for a marquee.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Gunnersen. You hit it right on the head when you said people remember the short, sweet to the point.
Yeah.
You have a two-syllable first name. Scott, one syllable.
Yeah. But the funny thing about it is, you look in the white pages, there's lots of Michael Scotts. You look, one of the best pictures down in Dallas, I think it is, his name's Michael Scott, very popular. Michael Scott is also a background musician that's well known in one of the big groups, Michael Scott. So, you see, it tends to...
I think Gunnersen is too long. I think Lucier is hard to remember. It almost sounds too theatrical.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's really tough. I kind of feel that, I've gotten a couple comments, why don't you just use your real name? People say that. Why do you use Michael Scott? Why don't you use your real name? People say that
Lucier.
And it's, right now there is a certain tendency now for people to go to their real names now, because there's some sort of ethnic thing going on, I guess, with this, And
I think also there's a sense of reality as opposed to Clark Gable. They had, and look what they did, one syllable, two syllables. Marilyn Monroe, 3 and 2.
Yes.
Michael Gunnersen, fine, Gunnerson.
S-E-N.
S-E-N.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long name.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long name. I don't know.
Can you think about it? And
I can think about it.
really think, because this is something that seriously I'm thinking about. And
Yeah.
I just need some help with it.
Lucier is going to be hard for some people. They're gonna go,
Oh, there's some real bad things with that. I mean, I've had people say, "Oh, Lucifer," and I go, "Yeah," because that really confuses. They don't pronounce it right. There's another thing too. Going on the last half of this, I have a song that goes. It's actually an opener too. Feeling love, that's all that's enough for me. And I see faces covered up in empty-eyed, empty traces. Where there used to be a soul inside, nothing that no one ever gets to you. Seems the wind could blow right through you. Believing in gods that never knew you. I believe in love.
Yeah.
That's an opener too, but I have it right here in the middle of the show.
That's okay, because then you can break there and go
it's
on.
after I wish I were in love again. It's right after I wish I were in love again.
Very good.
And then before that is you're nobody till somebody loves you.
Good. You've got good material on it, but it has to be lined up, and you have to line it up 45 What I was going to tell you was that when you do, if you give it an hour and a half, you start out here, and you bring it down to here, and you climb back up to here. This
Wait a minute,
being
can I
ju-
have your hand right here?
This point being a little higher than
Yes.
this. And then you go on from there, and you bring it down, and you bring it up again. So this point is higher than this point, which is higher than this point.
Mhm.
Do you see?
Now,
So now
what-
listen,
what
now
is
listen.
making
The
it that
purpose
high?
of that is you can break that first show in half. So you have two shows, or you have one complete show, which has all built to the end. Do you understand? If you were doing an hour and a half,
Yes.
you would still do this, bring it down the ballad, back up to the high.
Which is higher than the first beginning.
It's higher than the beginning.
Mhm.
You start out the second half, from there you go up a little bit, but you bring it
Dip.
down again, and you bring it back up
And-
to a higher point than any of the points before.
And the dips being basically the ballads
The
that
ballad,
bring it down.
The one ballad that you do.
But-
Now, listen, that also means that you can take that show and split it right in half
Mhm.
and do two shows. You then have two shows. Now, we're done.
And then naturally the higher part would be a more energetic song
Oh,
than the
God,
beginning one. It would be
yes.
so, okay,
Big, big, big.
okay.
Because your closer has to leave them wanting more. So they applaud like mad to bring you back to the encore.
Now after I Believe in Love would be without a song, a man ain't got a friend.
What are you talking about? I Believe in Love should be your closer.
Oh, I'm using it as an opener right here.
Oh, all right.
And then following, it's actually not an opener, it's an opener for this section, but it's actually in the middle of the show.
Yeah,
Okay, in this case. Lullaby of Broadway opened up here as an opener. Come along and
Yeah, I know
listen
the
to.
tune.
All right. Now, without a song, after I Believe in Love, there was a treatment that Sammy Davis Jr. did back in 1963. He doesn't do this song anymore in his show, and I've seen countless shows of his now.
Yeah.
Robert Valdez calls me up every once in a while and says, Mike, Sammy Davis Jr. is up there, let's go up there and win some money.
Yeah.
So we go up there, and we've seen lots of his shows, but he hasn't done this one again. The arrangement that he did there.
Mhm.
I have the tape or the record from that. I like it so much, I want to do that arrangement.
You might get into trouble.
Really. What if I was asked permission from him?
You could ask permission.
Okay, because I like it.
Michael, our time is
Okay,
up.
okay.
Lord.
All right, that's
I-
basically, and then I closed with America, the house I live in.
Waving
know?
the flag at him, that's good.
Yeah, and then proud to be an American. Yes, I'm proud to be an American. Da-da. That's real popular. Been doing it a lot now. It hit #1 in the country charts. But I can segue from the house I live in and then go, oh beautiful, da 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 da, and then come back into yes, I'm proud to be, and just end on a very patriotic.
Is the rest of your show straight home, mom and apple pie?
Well, it's basically
The last part?
no. The last part is I Believe in Love without a song. I Got Plenty of Nothing, and another one called I Can See Clearly Now. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. And then a modern song after that,
Mhm.
new song, and then Pick Yourself Up, Nothing's Impossible.
I have found it.
And then followed by a song called It Will Come in Time, Just Be Patient. Everything that's yours will get to you,
Yeah.
just because some
I know
others
the
got the. It's a kind of a real uptune.
And then into
And
the-
then Into the America.
Okay, if you set it up well with dialogue, you're okay.
Okay. It's such as dialogue. How would I set up the America? Just say what I believe in and.
Yeah, the whole thing about, you could right now tied into politics,
Mm-hmm.
and, at any time you can tie it into any political situation. What you
Yes.
believe in is this,
Yes.
even Watergate, we've talked about Watergate, yeah, but
Yeah.
regardless of what happens in our country, I believe.
Yes.
We can use it that way.
Yes.
Say it, but you have to say it. You can't discharge it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Get
girls.
out.
All right, that's it. Oh, could you do me one favor?
I don't know, tell me.
I want you to sing a song, and I want to be able to have you. I want to
No,
have. Well, can
no,
I have
no,
you? Can I
no,
have you? I want you on
no,
tape.
no,
Please.
no,
I
no,
need Judy.
no,
Judy.
No,
Please.
no,
Why?
because I don't like it.
Oh, I don't have any. I don't have a picture of you.
I'll get a picture of it.
But I want you to videotape singing.
No, no.
How about I remember April. You did that so nice.
No,
You did that so nice.
no.
Come on.
Kevin's got to go to work. Break down.
All right. Okay.